Like 99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Headlights pierce, patrols, blazing arrows, burning me to the marrow. But fire brings peace as well as it brings fear. You're the only thing I hear, and I want that. The songs howl like me, poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home. And it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The dogs howl like me, poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit smashed and broken in the sea. When we wake up each cold morning and the birds sing their warning songs.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
I'm Balls JP. What's up?
Boys, I think we set a record. I think that was a record. 3 minutes and 42 seconds of an intro. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. 3 minutes and 42 seconds. So anybody that loves to point out just how long the intros are, I'll save you time. 3 minutes, 42 seconds. Setting records tonight. Look, I told you guys last week, no more Wednesday show. The Wednesday show's over. We will just go live whenever we feel like it. Here we are the very next Wednesday with a Wednesday 7 p.m. show. But, man, there's so much to talk about. The transfer portal heated up today. The college football playoff rankings came out last night. Everybody was pissed off. They want somebody to talk to. So why can't the three of us jump on here and talk about it? We'll jump into the bowl game, talk about predictions. But let me run down the chat real quick. Let's see a few of the early arrivals. Sam Hyatt is in the house. What's up, Sam? Good to see you in the chat, my man. Dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Noah James is also in the chat, also dropping custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Matt Dummett is here. I don't even want to do this. I don't want to highlight this comment, but I'll do it just for Colby because he's becoming the new Uncle Allen. He is like Allen V. Troll Patrol. He's here every live stream. He's a Georgia fan. He keeps it respectful, and he's a member of the channel. So I'll allow it. I will allow it. Marcus Rush is in the house. What is up, Marcus? Seth is here. What's up, Seth? Let's see who else we got here. Cayman Mickler is here pointing out that Colby is supporting the Volunteers. I'll allow that as well. Tim Bradley announced, what is up, Tim? Got a couple of super chats. We can officially start the show because John Hill is here and has dropped a $10 super chat. It says, portal time, baby. Let the fun begin. Let's grab some guys we need for next year, and let's go Big Orange. Thank you for the super chat, John. We appreciate it. Does one of you want to read this name? We got a new member. JP, do you want to read what the new member's name is?
Astity.
Good. Okay, good. Because I see something else. I see something else when I see that name. But we appreciate you becoming a member of the channel. Hey, let me plug memberships real quick because the conversation going on all the time with this channel, wanting to do it full time, actually just be a Tennessee content creator. Memberships are a big part of that. And I know a lot of you are like, the season's over. I'm going to cancel my membership. I'll come back. I'll come back next year. That's a big part of what is preventing this thing from being full time. So if you're a member of the channel, keep that thing year round, 12 months out of the year, and maybe we can do this thing full time and bring you more content. But we appreciate all the members of the channel. Donovan for $10. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Peach Bowl, Georgia versus USC, Fiesta Bowl, TCU versus Michigan, Orange Bowl, Clemson versus Ohio State, Rose Bowl, Penn State versus Utah, Cotton Bowl, Tulane versus Tennessee, Sugar Bowl, Alabama versus Kansas State. We're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. Appreciate the super chat, Donovan. Should we wait? Should we wait or should we just jump right into that? I don't know. I feel like that's the main event. We'll come back. We'll come back to it, Donovan. But thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. Guys, come on in. Smash the thumbs up. This thing, no notifications. All you notification squad guys, you're not getting a notification because I dropped 3 videos already today. That's what it is. It's a stiddy. All right. I'm still going to screw that up every time. I'm going to screw it up every time. Share this thing out. Hit the share button. Put it out on Twitter, Facebook, social media somewhere. Let somebody know we're live. No notifications are going out. And that's because I was too busy making transfer portal videos. So let's start there, Dauber. Today, it started fast and furious, man. I'm sitting in the carpool line trying to pick up the kid from school. And the next thing I know, there's 4 guys entering their name into the portal. Let's start, I guess, with the wide receivers. What do you think? Jimmy Callaway, Jimmy Holiday hit the portal. What do you think?
Was there a lot of stuff that happened today?
Absolutely nothing happened. I just sat around doing nothing all day long.
So, listen, we were talking about this right before we went live. Your point was it's bodies, and it's guys that have been in the system, but bottom line is you're not losing a ton of production. And if you look at these 4 guys, they're guys that did not really crack the rotation in a year where your offense led the country in multiple categories and was just electric all over the place. Looking real quickly at the Jimmys, at both Jimmy Holiday and Jimmy Callaway, you had 8 catches between them this season. So I know it is one of those things. Oh, it's horrible news. People are leaving the program. What's wrong? But this is really going to be addition by subtraction. At the end of the day, I'm not concerned about offensive guys, skill guys, be it wide receiver or running back. I think the main focus for this offseason, especially the transfer portal, is going to be defense. Guys that can cover people, guys that can tackle. I want to see some playmakers on that side of the ball, especially that back half. And then maybe when you look at the offensive side, it never hurts to have some big uglies up front. And I'd like to see another tight end in the picture because we saw how versatile the tight ends were this year, and I don't think they were utilized as much as they could have been. So honestly, to me, I don't think it's a big loss. I kind of think the writing was on the wall for really all 4 of these guys. What do you think, JP?
Yeah, the only one that's kind of disappointing is Justin Williams-Thomas, because obviously he was a freshman and our highly touted running back, but that came in. But it was obvious that Sampson kind of stole the show there this year, right from fall camp on. But Whitehead, he battled injuries, so certainly not surprising there. Callaway and Holiday. I mean, Callaway after that drop pass at Florida last year. Golly, I mean, he must have went in the witness protection program or something. And
You made me laugh at a joke that you didn't even tell. I thought for sure you were going to talk about him punching somebody with a helmet on.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. The only noise that he made this season was punching the Akron fella in with his helmet on. So with that, and certainly no surprise there. Holiday not surprised there. Obviously that this offense shouldn't have a problem as far as being able to find productive wide receivers, and if they weren't able to get on the field like you said, especially Holiday and Callaway, that they'd been in program. This was their third year, I guess, down there. So chances are that it wasn't going to happen for them. So the only one that's kind of disappointing is Justin Williams-Thomas, but you could tell early on. I think he fumbled there one of the first times that he got in, and it was just like that. He never could get going there, and who knows? Maybe maybe he just wasn't as good, I guess, as maybe that some of the recruiting rankings had him set out to be or whatever. I know that Auburn was trying to get him at the end last year right before signing day. Of course, Auburn was a complete mess then too because of all the stuff surrounding Harrison and whether or not he was even going to be the coach. So with that, but yeah, not anything to be concerned about for sure. And us as fans, we might as well just get used to this because it is the new wave of college football. These days of having these players like we saw with Theo Jackson and probably even Cedric Tillman. Now that the portal is open, it's going to be very rare that you see somebody that stays in a program for 2 or 3 years and then their senior year or the redshirt junior year that they start showing out because these guys are going to move on. And I think what's probably going to happen is you'll see a lot more college football players end up flaming out and never actually completing their 4 years. They'll end up going in the portal, and whether that they can't find another place for them. And I just think that we'll end up seeing more and more college football players actually quit.
And that's the interesting thing, going back to what Dauber said about the tight end position and talking about Jacob Warren, right? Like you're going to have to go to the portal and add a tight end. Jacob Warren, it's very surprising to me that it sounds like he's not coming back next year because, I mean, you got another year of eligibility. And Jacob Warren's seen some playing time. It's not like he's just, sitting on the bench not playing football, but I think some of these guys are just, hey, I'm done with football. I'm not going to go play in the NFL. I'm not going to play at the next level. I'm going to take my degree and go do something else with it. I do want to hit Kaylin's comment here. Look at Kaylin complaining, saying, where are my friends? Where is Leah? Where is Crystal Free? Where is Robert? Where is Dave? Guys, I got to remind you, 3 videos today. If you put 3 videos in, that means that no notification goes out. And some of you guys are the notification squad. I mean, I'm talking, I upload a video and it's got 14 likes in 7 seconds. You guys are nuts. The notification didn't go out, so you guys have to help us. You got to share the link out. Hit that share button down below. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Facebook. Call up your aunt and uncle. Let somebody know that Talkin VAWLS is live so we can get this chat rocking and rolling as we – oh, look, there's Leah. Leah comes in right after I read that comment and says, well, I'm here. I'm in the chat. Why are you ignoring me? Guys, come on in, but do seriously share it out. Let somebody know we're live. We would appreciate growing this live chat as we continue to talk about the transfer portal. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, obviously that's the one that sticks out, right? It's like, well, we need corners. We could probably use some safeties. Wouldn't be bad to get a couple of linebackers, maybe some defensive. I don't know, the defensive line, maybe some big bodies on the inside. But defense has a ton of needs. But I'm telling you guys, they are just bodies, right? Jimmy Callaway, Jimmy Holiday. They didn't produce a lot of numbers. But when you're looking at these guys and what I've called them for years now, they're going to be 37 years old, and I'm going to be on this channel talking about Callaway, Jimmy Holiday, and Jalen Hyatt, calling them the three young wide receivers. They're going to be 37 years old with kids in high school, but it seems like they've been down there forever. And you want to see, for a successful program, development, right? You want to see guys develop as they mature through the system, and now those guys are transferring out. So you're now losing two. I think one of them was a redshirt sophomore. One of them actually redshirted. One of them was a junior. They're going to be gone. Does Jalen Hyatt go to the NFL? Cedric Tillman's gone. That's 4 wide receivers.
But
You hope the freshmen develop, right?
To JP's
Caleb
point,
Webb, Jazz Nimrod.
to JP's point, you're not going to see people sticking around if they're not playing. These guys are going to look for somewhere to play.
No,
And
but my point, where I'm going with it is, go target a wide receiver in the portal. We've seen
Right.
Josh Heupel have huge success.
yeah.
And it's like the
Devonta
kid from
Payton.
Missouri. The kid from Missouri that
Yeah.
just entered the portal. Why not go
Yep.
get the third leading receiver in the SEC? And people are like, "Oh, we don't need a receiver." Bullcrap. When you have elite level talent in the portal, and I don't care about star rankings. I don't care what they were graded coming out of high school.
Production
Justin Williams
is what
Thomas,
you want.
yes, and
Production.
Dylan Sampson. Perfect examples. Everybody is so high on Justin Williams Thomas because he was a 4-star. Dylan Sampson's the better back. It does hands down. Joshua Josephs and James Pierce, same story, JP. Same story. Stars don't tell the story.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, that's the thing with these guys. These recruiting sites and stuff. I mean, there has always been misses, and there's always going to be. Now, I'm not saying that Justin Williams Thomas doesn't transfer out and has a successful career somewhere.
He's a young kid. Young kid.
I mean, it is certainly possible that he does, but I just feel like that we're going to continue to see this, and I definitely think that Tennessee is going to be in a good spot to get some playmakers through the portal, especially on offense. But like Dauber said, we really need to try to go after some defensive studs too. We need to try to get some more guys that can step in the secondary. We've got to find some safety help. We have got to. We've got to do that. We've got to get some linebackers. I feel like I know that we got some young guys that are that they're high on down there that are freshmen this year and so forth like that. But Banks is gone. So we're going to have to certainly replace him. Mitchell, who knows? He's supposed to come back, but
yeah, he didn't go through senior day, did he?
No, I don't think so.
That's a
But
pretty
we
good
saw-
sign. Like if you go
Yeah.
through, there's still that chance you come back. But if you don't, that tells me you're leaning towards
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah, but we saw how much that he struggled in that South Carolina game too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So with that, but yeah, we'll see what actually happens. It's kind of interesting now because I know that we talked for the last few years how the early signing period for college football had kind of ruined, signing day and all that excitement that we all used to look to for February. So now this transfer portal is kind of taking its place, and it's going to be the wild, wild west. I mean, there's going to be a lot of big name guys that I feel like that are going to end up putting their name in the portal. I'm not saying at Tennessee, but I'm talking about all over the country.
Yeah, and I think they're going to know where they're going when they go in. Hold that thought, Darby. Let me jam some super chats real quick. There's a couple piled up here. Captain Woodland for 2 says, Bama bias is real. So frustrating. Screw Ohio State, too. Captain Woodland, we'll get into that here in just a second. That's the next topic after the transfer portal, so stay tuned. Tim Rice becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, Tim. You guys, look, I say all the time, the gimmick, right? The catchphrase, the line. You guys keep the lights on around here. It's true. And in the off season, I may be sitting here like this. I may be sitting in the dark because I may not be able to pay the light bill if all the members keep canceling. So appreciate that, Tim. Thank you for the support, buddy. Fire Dog becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Fire Dog. Appreciate that. Here's a $5 super chat from Julian Belk. Boogie Dauber, a.k.a. 80s Willie Nelson, and Salty JP in the house. I feel like Dauber's their favorite. I'm just some dude that's here. And maybe they don't like JP. He's salty. I would reckon that Tennessee will wait. What? I would reckon Tennessee will benefit from the portal as well. Yeah, I want to go down that road too. Thank you for super chat, Julian. We appreciate it. Jason Lawrence for 5. Good evening, friends. Which position do you think is most important to address in the portal? Wide receiver, defensive back, or offensive line?
Tight end.
That's not the question, JP.
Well,
That's not the
that's what
question.
I'm thinking.
I think tight end's important. What do you think, Dauber, out of those three? Wide
Defensive
receiver?
back. I mean, you look at the games that this team lost. The questions and concerns were on the defensive side of the ball. You look at some of the games this team won. There were questions and concerns from the defensive side of the ball. You can't look to 2021 and average 40-some points and then up that this year and lead the nation in so many offensive statistics and then, continue to struggle on defense. Because if your offense isn't working that day and your defense isn't either, then it's just a recipe for disaster. The question that I had before you hit the super chats, and I think I'm right. I wanted clarification from you guys or maybe the chat here. Just because somebody puts their name in the portal does not mean they are gone. That's correct, right?
Right. But my question, because I had that similar question, because we saw Tyler Barron do it last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Entered the portal, came right back to Tennessee. So keep your train of thought but I'm questioning it too. If they enter the portal, can the coaching staff say you can't come back? Sorry, I don't know how that would. Do you know how that works, JP?
I don't, but can y'all
Stay on
remember?
your train of thought, Dauber, because we're derailing.
It was a couple of years ago. Karak Garland actually entered the portal, and he ended up coming back. I think that if I'm not mistaken, that he entered the portal right after fall camp started, and then it was like right before the season, maybe like a week before the season, he ended up changing his mind and coming back. So of course, that was one of those cases, I guess, maybe before the transfer portal, but he had said that he was going to the portal, and I guess that he wasn't going to play. So from my understanding, they can come back. It's just whether or not that they're welcome back.
Yeah, so that's the question. But they can, but does the coaching staff have control of that? Sorry, go ahead.
The one thing that it does allow is them to be in contact with other schools,
right.
and
legally.
Other NIL collectives.
Legally.
Right. It legally opens the door for communication with other coaching staffs and the NIL collectives of those schools. So they can put their name in the portal and check out their NIL worth, across the board, and see, well, I can go here and make more. But if you've got players that are shopping themselves, I don't know that that's the type of player you want in the program anyway.
Yeah.
You're seeing those type of guys, though, like Jordan Addison last year, although he knew where he was going. But you're seeing guys go into the portal, too, for that exact reason. And and I don't know. I agree, like, when it comes to the culture, that's not necessarily the type of kid you want. On the flip side of that, I don't blame these kids, man. Like, imagine being 21 years old, 20 years old, and having that power. Like, you're talking about millions of dollars. What would the three of us idiots have done at 20 years old with millions of dollars at our fingertips? We would have made some stupid decisions. Yeah,
but I guess, Boogie, I mean, how many of these guys are actually getting $1 million deals?
Select few.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that. Obviously, Jimmy Callaway and Jimmy Holiday.
No. But you're talking about a Biletnikoff Award winner last year. Jordan Addison did it. Caleb Williams did it. There are some that are playing that game.
Yeah, and I would dare say that there'll be some quarterbacks that will be playing that game here in just a few short days.
Let's see. Nugs said that if you go into the portal, you basically are turning in your scholarship. So it's up to the coaching staff whether or not you are allowed to come back.
Yeah.
Look, like we said,
that makes sense.
This isn't going to be the last ones. Tennessee is going to have more guys go into the portal. The bottom line is, though, this is opening up spots for more guys in the portal to come in, and that's, I think I said it before we actually went live. You're basically just recruiting over people. That's why they're going, like Justin Williams-Thomas. He sees he's not going to get on the field, but I also think now you look at coming back next year. You got Jabari Small, Jalen Wright, Dylan Sampson. You got the freshmen coming in. From the way it looks, Cam Seldon may be moving to running back. I know he was a versatile guy that can move around. Is that enough? Or do they look to the portal at running back, wide receiver? We'll see. It is going to be the Wild West. The Orange Swarm sitting in his bunker, probably playing a little World of Warcraft, watching Talkin VAWLS, probably has ESPN on. Who knows what else he's doing? Oh, wait, that's Orange Sea Line. That joke didn't even make sense. I've lost my mind. You guys keep doing the Lord's work. Good Lord, I've had a long day. Go Vols. Thank you, the Orange Swarm. We appreciate the $2 tip in the old tip jar. My goodness. If that doesn't tell you that I've been sitting in this office for the last 4 hours working, I don't know what does. I've lost my mind. Thank you, Orange Swarm, for the super chat. We appreciate it. Let's move on to the next topic. We got almost 300 people watching live. Guys, do us a favor. Smash that thumbs up. Quick, free, easy. Quick, free, and easy. Like, if you are here, you clearly like us. Smash a thumbs up. We would appreciate it. Share out the link. Let somebody know we're live. We would appreciate that as well. If you're new here, you're going, who are these three idiots? Well, we're just that. We're idiots. For the fans, by the fans. We're not experts. We're not media. Clearly. Look at Dauber. Dauber kind of looks like media, doesn't he? Doesn't he, JP? Kind of looks like a media guy. Yeah. You look like you need a level in your house, and I look like a 12-year-old with all the toys behind me.
Yeah, I tried to fix that the other night. I'm gonna have to get some more hardware to fix that.
So it really is uneven.
It is. Yeah. It actually fell down.
I guess I like you, Boogie. I'm used to comments like this. I guess I kind of like you. I mean, you're all right. I wish I could find somebody better. Speaking of, if you want a better YouTuber, you can go to subscribe to Big Vol Daddy. Big Vol Daddy is an OG. Send him a text, and I said, hey, man, you want to come on, talk some football with me, Dauber, JP, tonight? He had plans, couldn't do it. He's like, why don't you come on my channel? And these are the words he said to me. I'm a little scared. Next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to go over on Big Vol Daddy's channel, and he said, we can talk some football. I'm going to interview you. I'm going to ask you about YouTube. And he said, maybe we can find something out about Boogie that nobody knows. So I'm terrified about what's going to be asked next week. If you want to find out, go subscribe to Big Vol Daddy. Go check it out next week, 8 p.m. I'll remind you guys, keep you guys in the loop on that one. But it should be a good time. Big Vol Daddy's good people. Always love hanging out, talking Tennessee football, or just shooting the bull with him. He's a good dude. Let's talk about the college football playoff rankings. Came out last night. Yeah, because people are so pissed off.
I've just calmed down.
They want to talk about it so bad. The big thing everybody wants to talk about, like let's just start right out of the gate what they want to talk about. Alabama number 6, Tennessee number 7. JP, you talk about Bama bias. You talk about Bama bias all the time.
Crazy.
Kick us off here. How is Alabama ranked ahead of Tennessee? Try. Let's get a little weird. Let's act like you're going to try to validate it. Let's act like you're neutral, that you're not a Tennessee fan, and you're trying to explain to somebody how Alabama's ahead of Tennessee. Is there anything you can do outside of the South Carolina loss? Is there any way possible?
The only way that you can try to justify it is that is both losses were what, within four points combined. That's the only way that you can. Both of them came.
They had two wins
last
that were less than 4 points combined.
Yeah, I mean, again, Dauber, I'm not. He asked me to try to justify, and that's the only thing that I can come up with.
I was trying to get weird. Trying to get weird. You got that mustache, and I don't know. I had these weird thoughts in my head. I was trying to get weird. I was trying to make JP be an Alabama fan, so I was curious to see what he would say.
I mean, based on what they kind of said, that's I guess that's how that they did justify it, and I also think obviously that it's fact that that they are holding the blowout loss to South Carolina against Tennessee, and there is no doubt in my mind that they're holding the injury to Hendon Hooker against Tennessee for sure.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
It is, but it's true.
Hendon Hooker's hurt and can't play, so we're going to like that has nothing to. Somebody left that comment on the video I made this morning about the bowl game. It makes no sense. None.
If they came out last Saturday and looked like hot garbage and a
Sure.
complete mess against Vanderbilt, I can see that argument. But they
Yep.
came out and dominated. They looked
Yep.
great offensively. Yeah, I know it's Vanderbilt, but that's the same Vanderbilt that just beat Kentucky and Florida. So,
I know.
I mean, it's that.
We knew it was going to happen.
I mean,
We
it was-
did, and as soon as TCU and USC loses Saturday, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. You know
Alabama's
going to
win a national championship.
You know what's going to happen.
I'm sorry.
Ohio
this is
State,
going to make me
Alabama,
puke.
Michigan, and Georgia.
I will puke a little in my mouth. I would much rather Alabama win than freaking Georgia. Screw the Georgia Bulldogs.
yeah.
I would much
Oh,
rather
yeah.
see Alabama win at this point.
Definitely. I mean, Bama's got 16, 17, 18, how many ever that they claim that they've got. They for years they claimed a championship when they went 7-3. So, but yeah, definitely. I'm right there with you, Boogie, because last thing we need is Georgia to win multiple championships for sure.
If those are the four teams that make the playoff, Big Blue. Go Big Blue.
Yeah. I guess honestly, with the top four right now, I'm pulling for TCU. I'd like to see the underdog win it all.
They have no shot. Not
No.
a shot. They couldn't
No,
beat
they
anybody
don't have a
in the
shot,
top
but-
8 on the screen right there.
But that's who I'm
Not
going to
even
pull
Penn
for.
State. Not even Penn State. They don't have a shot. Not a shot at all.
I
The
don't know
most
about
frustrating thing is and I know it pisses people off. I said it in this morning's video talking about the bowl games. I'm going to say it again now. We can't sit here and argue and complain and piss and moan and whine because Tennessee had every opportunity and they blew it against South Carolina. All you got to do is beat South Carolina. You're golden. You're golden, pony boy, for all you old cats that know what I'm talking about. It's all in front of you, man. That's the most frustrating thing. And it's a freaking broken record. We keep talking about it. How special this season was, man. The Alabama post game might have been my favorite post game stream ever. We did not talk football at all. Me,
For 2
Dauber,
days.
and Snake sat here
for 2
and
days.
yelled and screamed forever. Like we didn't talk football at all. And after 90 minutes of it, I said, we got to go. We got to get off of here. Like
Listen,
but it's a celebration with friends. That was what it was. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I don't know if we ever talked about the actual game.
We definitely didn't Saturday night. I know we didn't Saturday night. We were like an hour in, and I'm like, okay, this is not going anywhere.
I'm with you. I get it. You had business to take care of, and you didn't. And what was it? Monday, you had the guys talking about, they went into the game overlooking South Carolina. We'd heard some. I might have been on here. I can't. Man, it's been a long week already. Don't know if I saw it on Twitter. You had the whole locker room drama and all that. I think it played into it, but I think there was so much more at work. I think that they got the little big head a little bit and thought, it's South Carolina. We'll they didn't score a touchdown against Florida the week before. And South Carolina just had a game plan that was better than, or they executed the game plan better than Tennessee did.
And Spencer Rattler played flawless. Played absolutely flawless. But that's what I love the clip from Heupel that I played at the top of the show. And I love even some of the players responding to it and basically said, there is no culture problem. There isn't a culture problem. But on the flip side of that, as some people like to call us content creators, some people in the media like to call us content creators. I think it's fair game to come on here and speculate and say, okay, there's rumors of a fight in the locker room. The team came out and laid an absolute egg. I think it's fair as fans and content creators. God, it drives me nuts to come on and speculate, JP, and say what happened. What is off with something was off with that football team against South Carolina. Do I think they threw the game? No. I lectured people and yelled at people and screamed at people. My Dauber sat here and looked at me with glassy eyes while I'm yelling at people because it drives me nuts. I don't think anybody on this football team said, oh, college football playoff, let's get rid of that. Let's flush it because I would much rather throw a football game. That's not what happened. But something was off that football team against South Carolina, JP. And I think it's fair as fans to speculate.
Yeah. and I mean, you're not going to stop that, especially if the fact that Banks didn't travel and Heupel never really shot anything down with that. He never gave any kind of reason for it. He could have came out and said Banks was suspended because he missed practice or something. But he didn't do that, so that just led to more of the speculation, and that's what people are going to do. It doesn't matter. I don't believe that this team threw or the defense threw that game or anything like that. I think that it was a combination of the fact that they weren't prepared, that they didn't take the team serious, and South Carolina came out and I think it's obvious now that their offensive coordinator was getting help or was possibly not calling plays, considering that he's already left. So I think that Freddie Kitchens was running the show, and that's why that it looked so much different these last 2 weeks.
Let me hit a couple of super chats real quick. Seth Justice, the Justice family, the first family of the Talkin VAWLS network. Caitlin comes in here screaming because her friends aren't here. Seth shows up and drops a $5 super chat. I appreciate that, Seth. That's the way to take the lead in the family ranking system. We can use emotion around here, unlike the college football playoff rankings. Seth says for 5, they put FSU over LSU because of the head-to-head, but put Bama over us because Hooker certainly have better losses than us. The committee is a joke clown emoji. He drops that. I like that. That clown emoji gets used a lot by me in the comment section with some idiots. But they validate each storyline. Sorry, JP, go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, what almost frustrates me even more with Bama over top of Tennessee in the playoff rankings is not only that we beat them head-to-head, but the other common opponent was LSU, which Bama lost to, and Tennessee destroyed by 27 points
on their own field.
Yeah, I mean, so head-to-head and common opponents, and there's no comparison. Again, I mean, it's just strictly this Bama bias. I mean, they are giving them credit for the last 15 years, and why a team from teams from 2009 through 2021 should matter about 2022, but it's obvious that it does, and nobody should be surprised as to them putting Bama in front of Tennessee. It's not right. It's absolutely stupid, but that's the way it is.
Let me ask you guys this, and this is more at you, Boogie. You say that college basketball, it's boring to watch and this and that because not every game matters. What does this make football? Does the head-to-head game that Tennessee won not matter?
Obviously not.
Well, my argument to that is we're talking about two teams with 2 losses, so they're done. Right. Like we're going to go into the bowl game conversation here in just a second. But when you're talking college football playoff, every game does matter. The one thing that drives me nuts about college football is, and the chat was talking about this a little bit earlier, if Tennessee had lost to South Carolina earlier in the year, it wouldn't hold as much weight as if you lose to South Carolina late in the year. That's a big problem with college football. But you're talking about two teams that are 10-2. They shouldn't be talking about college football playoff anyway. And again, I would love nothing more than Tennessee to somehow sneak their way into the college football playoff. They don't deserve it, man. They do not deserve it. And I love this football team as much as anybody in this chat. I love Tennessee football. They don't deserve it. If you can't go beat South Carolina, a team that you're favored to beat by 3 touchdowns, you don't deserve it. Like, that's it. And I would love to see a legitimate argument that says, Boogie, let me explain to you why losing to a team that you're favored to beat by 3 touchdowns, let me explain to you why you still deserve it. You don't. It's all a hope and a prayer, man. It's all I hope we can get in. We were hoping and praying before the loss to South Carolina, but you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it.
But let me throw this out, Boogie. So does Ohio State
catchphrases now? Sorry. You were making a good point, and I have to make a joke.
Does Ohio State deserve to be in should TCU or USC lose Saturday? Because look at their, who they played,
Yep.
and the only real team that they played outside of, you could argue, Penn State, they got beat by 22 points at home.
Yep. We
So-
had this conversation post game. Dauber and D-Car kind of not. I guess you were on two different sides of it, but at the same time, you're both right. Like, I was agreeing with both of you. Ohio State, they don't play anybody, right? How many losses, JP, would Ohio State have if they played in the SEC? Say they played in the SEC East this year. They had to play Georgia. They had to play Tennessee, everybody in the SEC East. And let's say they drew an Ole Miss, a middle-of-the-road SEC West team. Three losses?
I would say two, probably.
At least two.
Yeah. So on the flip side of that, like, so right there out of the gate, you're out of the college football playoff. If Ohio State's in the SEC, they're out of the college football playoff. Now, on the other side of that argument, is Ohio State a good football team? Yes, they are. Like, if Ohio State was playing Tennessee on a neutral site, I think Ohio State may be favored. Maybe. I don't know. I think it would be a good football game. If Hendon Hooker was healthy, I think it's going to be a good football game.
Look at it this way. Put Tennessee in the Big Ten.
Oh, they're going undefeated. Maybe
What do
one
they
loss.
do there?
Yeah. So you get into the college
put
football playoff,
LSU.
but do you win?
Put LSU
yeah.
in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Put Ole Miss. Put Alabama. Put Georgia. Put Florida. I mean, Florida maybe not this year, but
Maybe not, or definitely not.
well, did they qualify for a bowl?
Yeah, I think they finished
Yeah.
6-6.
Maybe they
yeah.
can go to the Liberty Bowl so they can lose in East, Middle, and West Tennessee.
You're not wrong. That's why I said both sides of the argument are right. Ohio State is a good football team. Would they be rattling off 11-win seasons every year? No, they wouldn't. Not in the SEC. That's why the SEC, that is college football.
And that in and of itself also justifies Hendon Hooker being better with his numbers and stats that he put up in, 3.5 quarters versus 4 quarters against cupcakes.
And that's why I keep talking, when we talk about this offense and leading the country in total yards, leading the country in points per game, look at the dang schedule, man. You're talking about doing that on the road against LSU. You're talking about doing that against Alabama, Florida, Georgia. Like, the list goes on and on. What would this offense look like if they were in the Big Ten? How many points would they score per game? Like, how many yards would they put up? What would Hendon Hooker's stats look like?
It'd be similar to Ohio State. I mean,
It would be more. This offense would be more. This offense would be more. Right? Sorry, JP.
I mean, it's certainly possible. I mean, based on stats, certainly possible.
So I don't know. So let me see here. Let me hit a couple of super chats real quick, and then I want to come back to this. Dan Yoder for 2. Thank you for super chat. UGA has become unbearable. Boogie influence. I mean, that's a $2 super chat. We appreciate the tip in the tip jar. I don't typically play clips for $2, but I'll play this one for you, Dan. I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none. I love when the clips lag in StreamYard, and I have no clue when it's going to end, and I'm just sitting here awkwardly when it ends. Julian Belk for 5. Thank you for super chat. Sorry, guys. Cell phone plus LA traffic equals typos. Players from other programs will transfer in because of the brand Heupel has built at Tennessee. Thank you, Julian, for another $5. You didn't have to drop another super chat. We appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for tuning in. Is that LA traffic or Louisiana? I'm trying to get another $5 out of him. Please clarify another $5 super chat. Is that Louisiana traffic or LA traffic? Are you out there on the West Coast with Coach Jay? I wondered what. Gosh, I already forgot what I was going to. I told you guys don't let me lose my train of thought. I was going to come back to it, and now I already forgot what I was going to say. I forgot what I was going to say. You guys remember where I was at? I don't remember what I was going to talk about.
No,
man, I had a good train of thought, and now it's gone. It's all right. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network, for the fans, by the fans. We're not experts. Let's move into bowl games and talk about it, because the Rose Bowl is creating a problem. And the easiest way for me to describe this is to go through this article, and this is from on3.com. It's a free article. I don't share stuff that's behind a paywall. Grant Ramey. JP, you're a VolQuester. What do you think about Grant Ramey and that hire at VolQuest? I'm a fan, man. I'm a big fan of Grant Ramey.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think he's done a fine job.
Be awesome if you hated him and had to fake it. there.
Sullivan South boy too.
I didn't know that. Actually, I did know that. I think you told me that.
Yeah.
So let's run through the article here. Most bowl projections this week had Tennessee slotted against Clemson in the Capital One Orange Bowl on December the 30th. Everybody was predicting it. ESPN, CBS, everybody was predicting Tennessee in the Orange Bowl. Said a couple others had the Vols facing Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl on December the 31st, but Ohio State and Rose Bowl bylaws could change things for Josh Heupel and this team. Kirk Herbstreit on Tuesday during the reveal show for the updated college football top 25 called Penn State a viable. I love Kirk, right? Always. Oh my gosh. How I understand why everybody in the Tennessee fan base hates him. He called Penn State a viable candidate for the Rose Bowl, with Ohio State perhaps not being sent to Pasadena for a second straight season. Why is there so much politics? Why are there so many politics? The Rose Bowl bylaws state that should a Big Ten or Pac-12 team go to a college football playoff, the Tournament of Roses will traditionally select the next highest college football playoff ranked team from that conference. There is, however, a caveat to that clause in the contract. And here it goes. It continues to talk about it. If the next highest ranked team is in a cluster, that's what the college football playoff rankings are, a cluster. You can finish that sentence. There's another team or teams from the same conference ranked within several spots of each other. The Rose Bowl will select the team from the cluster that creates the best possible matchup for the Rose Bowl. Politics. It's politics. That bylaw is in there for politics. According to the bylaws, the factors taken into account by the Rose Bowl include the last time a team played in the game, head-to-head results, regular season schedule, overall record, opponents played, past playoff or bowl appearances and performance, and historical matchups in no order. It says, should the Buckeyes land elsewhere in the New Year's Six Bowl games, it would be the Orange Bowl, which has tie-ins with the ACC and the highest-ranked non-champion from either the SEC, Big Ten, or Notre Dame. So the bottom line is here, Tennessee trending towards the Orange Bowl, right? They would, and that it comes back. Let me get that off the screen. Comes back full circle to Alabama being ranked higher, right? Because you're talking about a Sugar Bowl appearance if Tennessee beats Alabama in the rankings. But instead, Tennessee looking at the Orange Bowl. But now Ohio State, JP, going to play a little politics and say, we don't want to play in the Rose Bowl. We want to play in the Orange Bowl, which sends Tennessee now to a disaster matchup against Tulane or UCF, which both of those games, the UCF game would have some storyline to it just because of Josh Heupel. That would be it. Both of those games, you go win, cool, you're supposed to. You're supposed to win. You lose, got a dumpster fire on our hands, way worse than Purdue last year. But what do you think, JP? A little politicking by the Buckeyes.
and that's what makes it even more frustrating with them putting Bama over Tennessee is the fact that now Ohio State is saying that they don't want to go to the Rose Bowl because they went there last year, put us in the Orange Bowl, and so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out this coming weekend because I don't think that Penn State was in the running for a New Year's Six, and there's a lot of money that's on the line there for these conferences. So I'm just interested to see how that actually plays out this weekend. I definitely think as Tennessee fans, if we are wanting the Orange Bowl, then we need to be rooting for USC to lose because that would put Ohio State, we would think, into the college football playoff. Otherwise, I think that it'll happen. I think that we'll end up in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's going to get screwed.
Battered ball syndrome at its peak.
Yeah.
No, I mean it is set up to play out like that, and that's Ohio State. It is like a spoiled brat whining about getting this big nice shiny present on Christmas. Well, I don't want that. Man, just go to the bowl game that you're supposed to go to. Come on. Get off of it, man.
It's the Rose Bowl. Like, it's not like you're going to the Music City Bowl and trying to politic your way out of it. It's like nobody even comes to watch you play in California anyway. What difference does it make? Are your fans going to travel to Florida? Like, that's part of it too, man. You're talking about ticket sales and it's just
you're talking about the possibility of the Big Ten getting three teams in the New Year's Six, and the money grab there with that. So And it sounds like with the way that it's in that it's in there with the Rose Bowl that they have complete authority to do that. So
That is
they
why
have the
bowl games.
control over that.
That is why bowl games should not have
Conference tie-ins and all
conference
that.
tie-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I don't know
agree.
though. Like if you don't have conference tie-ins and you just go at large, then you get right
Not
back
at large.
to like
Just go by the rankings.
just take the top top
the
two for
bowl
top
games.
top however many for New Year's 6.
The bowl games should be in a lottery, and you have your New Year's and your playoffs, and you go when it comes to that bowl game, they select whatever 2 teams they want, and most bowls are going to select the best matchup, so it would be the top ranked teams. Is that not the way it used to be years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why it changed? Money.
Money
yeah.
controls
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Money and
It's
TV
all-
ratings. Money
It's
and
all
TV
about
ratings.
that. It's all about the money. It's all about it. But and I know there've been people in the chat that's mentioned it, but that's what's going to be funny, if and Bama and Ohio State, if they doesn't make the playoffs, I just don't see Bryce Young playing. Probably Stroud's not playing for Ohio State. So I hope if it happens and they end up putting Ohio State in Orange Bowl, I hope that Ohio State's got third and fourth stringers starting. I hope that's what happens.
Well, you'd think your buddy down there in the SEC offices, old Greg. What do you call it? Greg Skanky?
What are you
Skanky,
trying to get
yeah.
a JP
Skanky?
rant going here?
That he would be lobbying for his conference schools a little bit harder.
Dude, many people on VolQuest were saying, "Where is Greg Sankey? Where's Greg Sankey?" Because if it was Alabama in this situation, he would be going to bat. He'd be on a jet, just like he was when Nick Saban cried about NIL. Let's go to the Capitol building. We got to start a riot and stop this. But all of a sudden, it's happening to Tennessee, and it's just like crickets, man, crickets. Where's he at? Where you at?
I think the only time
where you at,
that
Skanky?
I only think the only time that Sankey even says anything this weekend is if TCU and USC both lose, and then he'll be all over.
He'll be
We
so
got to
happy.
put Bama in. He'll be all over. We got to put Bama in. We got to put Bama in. I'm telling you.
Here's a super chat from Tom.
Would
Tom
not
Roddy
be
for
shocked
5.
at all.
Appreciate it, Tom. Let's not complain that money controls everything when Spire Sports helped us get back on our feet in less than 3 years. I wish I was clever enough to come up with a response to that. Let's just ride money with Spire Sports Group. Hey, you can get involved in the NIL game. If you want to get this football team back on the right track, you can support Spire Sports Group. There is strength in numbers. There's power in money. It's why I preach memberships. If all 19,000 of you crazy cats became a member of this channel, we're talking about 19 grand a month. I'm going to do this full time. I can finally stick it to the man. That's what I'm waiting to do. And some of you guys are helping me do it. We appreciate it. There are strength in numbers with NIL too. And you can get involved in the NIL game as little as $5 a month. You can give $500 a month, whatever you want to give. The link's in the description. They kick a little money our way, but 90% of every dollar goes to the athletes. And that's what it's all about. Brad for 2. Thank you for Brad for the super chat. A ton of Bama's offense went in the portal today. Man, I'm scrambling to try to find names in the portal that Tennessee has interest in. I've got a few names that I've been given that I'm waiting to see what happens with. But there are a few that I'm also keeping my eye on. So we'll see. But we'll keep an eye on it. Captain Woodland for 5. Heaven forbid you play in the Rose Bowl twice in 2 years. Ridiculous. Cry me a river. Bama bias and Ohio State bias. No respect. Go Big Orange. That's what it is, Captain Woodland. Appreciate it. I want to come back to what you guys were talking about with opt-outs. With opt-outs, right? It's like, is this a compliment? Is this a compliment or is it an insult? I think it's kind of a compliment. Thank you, Seth. I'll take it as a compliment. I want to come back to opt-outs because, JP, you're talking about Ohio State. What happens when I think Cedric Tillman's already opted out? I think Cedric Tillman's shut it down for the year. And I don't blame him. I don't blame you when you were hurt, you're injured, you're trying to get healthy for the combine. What happens when Jalen Hyatt says, I'm not going to go play in the Cotton Bowl. I'm not going to go play in the Orange Bowl. And I'm not even going to give you guys a chance to answer first. I'm going to give you my answer because I think it's BS. I think it's BS. Like, I get it. I get it. You're trying to take care of you. And it's like the kids that go to the NFL. You leave for the NFL early. I never blame anybody trying to take care of themselves and their family. On the flip side of that, there's a sign that you slap every time you walk out of that locker room. And it says, I'll give my all for Tennessee. It doesn't say, I will give my all for Tennessee until the NFL Combine is around the corner. Then I'm going to shut it down. It doesn't say I'll give my all for Tennessee until I have an opportunity to go make a few $1 million. Dauber, what do you think about opt-outs? And, because Jalen Hyatt's a guy that could very realistically opt out. I'm against it. I hate it. Finish the job. You sign. It's like I tell my kids, man, they sign up for something. You're going to finish it. You were going to finish what you started. Now, if you want to quit after it's over, by all means, feel free. But you're going to finish what you signed up for because you made a commitment to this team. And you talk about brotherhood, you talk about love, you talk about family until it's about you. I hate opt-outs.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly, as a fan, and I know we've not put our blood and sweat into all of the workouts and the games and we don't put our bodies on, but I tell you what, I sure have shed some tears over Tennessee football. And I mean, it does matter to us. That's why we get on here and, talk and do what we do here. Because it's fun. We enjoy it. But like we've always talked about, the community, the relationships that we get to experience because of this. It's hard to knock a kid for looking out for themselves, but at the same time, you are kind of like, well, it is a bit selfish when you've been given a scholarship to play. I think to me, I look at it as it's a contract. You need to fulfill your obligations, or if you back out of that contract, I think you should have to back pay and pay for your education. Simple as that. Because at the end of the day, that is why they're at the University of Tennessee, not to play football.
When do these guys get like a draft grade? Like, are they talking now to the NFL scouts or whatever?
No,
I'm not sure how that actually works with that, but
I wonder if that kind of starts coming with the I don't know though. You can't do the combine. You have to declare for the draft to do the combine.
Yeah. I'm not sure when that actually is. Do I like it that these players opt out? No, I hate it. But at the same time, I mean, I can understand it to a degree. But here's the thing with it. This football team, there was other players that obviously helped people like Jalen Hyatt get in the position that they're in. And again, I'm not saying that Jalen Hyatt's opting out. I have no idea if he is. But anybody that gets in that position, in my opinion, you owe it to your teammates to finish out that season, because they helped you get to that opportunity. Now, I know somebody mentioned, Lante Taylor last year having an injury or something like that.
It's like Tillman. It's like Tillman. That's different.
Yeah, I have. Tillman has been hurt all year long. Every time the poor fella got out on the field, somebody would tackle him awkward, and I mean, it was just the same thing every game. It was like, my goodness, this guy's snake bit. So he's obviously he's tried to play. He had the tightrope surgery, tried to come back, and it just didn't happen. So I have no issues with him doing that, but I just feel like that these guys owe it to their teammates and the coaches that helped them get to the position that they're in. So I'll just leave it at that. But now again, if you're guaranteed, if somebody's telling you, hey man, you're first round draft pick, chances are you're going in the first round. I mean, I can see why that they do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get it, and I talk about out of both sides of my mouth with it, but like to me, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's the way I was raised, man. Like you're not going to start something and not finish
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Whether it was a
yeah, I
sport,
mean,
activity, whatever it was. Like my parents signed me up for it. They said you're gonna finish it, and that's the same mindset I put on my kids. Let me hit a couple super chats real
but
quick.
it just goes back to everything that we talked about. Money controls everything.
Yeah, and it's easy. Look, let me say that it's easy for me to sit here and say, you're committed to your brothers. I need you to come
Yeah.
play. I need you
Yeah.
to come play in this bowl game against Tulane.
Yeah.
And you put me in that situation and say, okay, Boogie, you can come out here and risk injury, or you can
Yep.
go sign a multi-million-dollar contract. I'm gonna say, cool, deuces, I'm out. I'll see y'all
Yeah.
later. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go over here and buy my new house.
Yeah.
I'll catch up with y'all later.
Yeah.
You're right, JP. You're right. Carl for 5, thank you for super chat. The Rose Bowl has always been the bowl game for the best Big Ten team. It was what Woody Hayes set as the team goal every year. The granddaddy. Yeah, but now Ohio State wants to politic for something else. I don't get it, man. Tom for 5, thank you for super chat. No disrespect to anybody. I was just saying we're finally playing the game better than everyone else in the country. Riggs for 5, thank you for super chat. We would be the only team with something to lose in any New Year's Six bowl. If we get a Cotton Bowl, a win or a loss to Tulane or UCF does nothing for us. That's where I'm
I
at, man,
agree.
with that game. It is a no-win situation. I think I said that earlier. You win it, cool, you're supposed to. You lose it, we're going to spend the entire offseason questioning Josh Heupel. That's what the fan base does. That's what we do. That's what we do.
There's and that's a whole nother thing that I know that we've talked about it. I'm for the college football playoff expansion. I think that you're all kind of against it, but that's why this is exactly why that I'm for it, because honestly, the way that it is now with the early signing period, most of these kids are already signed and sealed and delivered come the middle of December. It used to be that a bowl game carried you momentum into signing day, and it was so much more important, I feel like, at that point in time, because you were trying to flip the recruits in February, and you didn't want to lose that bowl game on January 1st, or the end of December, and all of that is gone out the window now. And now you got all these kids that are opting out, like we just talked about. So to me, these bowl games have become so irrelevant, other than the playoffs, and to me, that's why that I'm for the college football playoff expansion, because I think that it will make these bowl games mean more. Yeah.
But see, I
Because-
hate hearing that. I hate hearing that because I'm old school. Old school, and like hearing the Sugar Bowl, hearing the Orange Bowl, like that still means something to me. And I hate, and I'm not saying you guys are wrong, because you're right. It's like, and it's like the comments. Oh, who freaking cares? The bowl games don't matter. And I'm like, damn it. We play the games for a reason. Why is it that a 5-win team is going, we got to get this win, it's important, we got to get a bowl game? But then all of a sudden we just spit in the face of that and say bowl games don't matter.
But then you've got a 10-win team and another 10-win team who beat that team head to head, but they're ranked ahead. I'm with you.
They settled
JP.
it on the field. They settled it on the field.
They did. Yeah. I think that the whole bowl season, you've added so many bowl games. They're watered down.
Oh, that's horrible.
You've got to win 6 games to be bowl eligible.
Sometimes 5 if there's not enough.
And it's you're getting really bad football. That they're filling in from the middle of December until the week after
Bowl
Christmas.
Games don't matter till late December.
Yeah, that's when you start watching is the week after Christmas. That's when the games with teams that matter begin, and it's such a mess, and it's such a money grub. It's all about the guys in suits and corporate sponsorship and all of that. There is so little to do with football and the results on the field.
We're over an hour into this thing. We got 313 people watching live. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Let me do a little shilling, little plugging. Appreciate you guys for the support. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, why not? Please hit the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. If you want to throw a little money our way, you can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Pick up any and all merch. We would greatly appreciate it. The link is in the description as well. But we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the support. I want to see. I know I say it all the time. I'm like, I want to see your merchandise on Twitter. Post it on Twitter when you're in Neyland Stadium or at a game. I'm going to take it a step further. 300 people in the chat, 300 people watching. If you have Talkin VAWLS merch and you are wearing it, I want to see it. I don't care if you're at your aunt and uncle's house. I don't care if you're at a restaurant, a parade, a party. I don't care where you're at. I don't care what you're doing. I want to see you repping Talkin VAWLS merch. So post it on Twitter. I want to see the pictures. Post it on Twitter. Tag, you can see the Twitter handles at Talkin VAWLS _pod. Tag me at Boogie Bentley. Give us all a follow at UT Dauber, at COG Sports Card. That's Snake at Balls _JP. I already said Dauber. At, I don't know how to say Gabe's. Look at like Gizmo Tabe. Gabe, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life, Gabe? What are you doing with your life, Gabe? We don't know what Gizmo Tabe, Gizmo Tabe. We don't know what that means. But you can give us all a follow. But I want to see your merch, man. Like for real. For real, I want to see the merch. Post it on Twitter. Put it on. Take a picture. Are you at a barbecue? Are you at a family cookout? Are you at, I don't know, wherever you're at. I want to see pictures of you guys repping that Talkin VAWLS merch. Gate City Blue Devil for $5. Thank you for Super Chat. I was at the last Orange Bowl Tennessee played in 1997. Other than the end result, it is one of my fondest memories, and the weather was great. You know that guy, don't you, Dauber?
I do.
I put 2 and 2 together talking to Big Vol Daddy. I'm connecting the pieces of the puzzle. Thank you for Super Chat, Gate City Blue Devil. We appreciate it. Let's wrap this thing up. It's been a blast. You guys let us know. Come back to the comment section. Leave a comment. Let us know. What do you want us to do live streams about? I felt like we needed to do like one last live stream. We had a lot of stuff to talk about. The portal, the college football playoff rankings, the bowl game, all that stuff. Like, I would love nothing more than for us to get together. And JP's like, oh, Lord have mercy. I got to do more work. I got to do more work for you. No, not necessarily. Whether it's me, Dauber, JP, me, Dauber, Snake, me, Dauber, Gabe, whoever. Like, I would love nothing more than to be able to live stream once a week with you guys. Obviously, I'm going to keep doing the NCAA streams. That's a whole different animal. Good Lord have mercy. We were talking about of what. JP, you ever watch the show Friends?
Sometimes Brandy has it on in the background, but I can honestly say I don't think I've ever sat down and watched an entire 30-minute episode from start to finish. TV shows is not my thing.
I know it's not, and I tried to get you to watch some great ones, and I know you struggle through it. But have you ever noticed when you like if Brandy's got Friends on, you ever notice what a great personality Jennifer Aniston has on that show? I mean, just the best personality you could possibly ask for. Just great.
I've really never noticed her personality, but I have noticed Jennifer Aniston on that show.
Her personality is undeniable. That's what we talk about.
I've never noticed her personality.
I mean, on the NCAA streams, we talk about Jennifer Aniston's personality. It's always a great time. But I would love to. The Sunday night chat's coming in. Sunday night chats. Look at them. The Sunday night chat is eating it up. They're like, oh yeah, we talk all about Friends. We talk all about Jennifer Aniston. We love it. We love it. Elijah, we all know what I said about it. Elijah, I will never repeat what you said about Jennifer Aniston to anybody ever. Good Lord have mercy. I couldn't even put it on the screen. But that's what we do on Sunday nights. It's a blast. It's a blast. But I would love to have a more serious show once a week. We'll see. What do you guys want? Do you want portal coverage, recruiting coverage? Basketball's in the air. Like me, Dauber, Xavier are willing to cover basketball, but I'm not going to show up for 32 people to watch it. If I can go live and talk football and recruiting, that's way more. That makes way more sense for me and Dauber to do that instead of watch a bunch of boring basketball. So leave us a comment in the comment section. What do you want from us as we move throughout December, January? We're right around the corner from spring practice. We're going to talk about the transfer portal. We're going to talk about recruiting, and then spring is going to be here. So stay tuned. Going to be a blast. All right, we got to wrap this thing up before I get into the Jennifer Aniston Bowl is 4 days away. Stay tuned. It's going to be a blast. Every Sunday night. Every Sunday night's a blast. We got to wrap this thing up. We'll get into it Sunday night. It'll be a lot of fun. We want to bring you more content. Let us know what you want. Videos coming your way. Tons of videos today. If you didn't watch them, go back, check them out. For Dauber, For Vols JP, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin Vols Network. Go Big Orange.
The song